welcome 2K fans to part 1 of my NBA 2K17 Ultimate Wishlist. Part 1 is all about new features and things that I think should be added to the game. So what up 2K fans, it's your boy Shake, and it's about that time to start discussing what we want to see in NBA 2K17. And usually I send the 2K devs my own personal PowerPoint presentation, in private before I do my videos for the community, just to see if any of those ideas might get implemented into the game. So now's a good time to share with you some of my thoughts for a potential wish list for NBA 2K17. More than likely this is part 1 of a 3-part series, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Number 1 on my list is we need body types for our created characters. Why is everybody's 300-pound player the same size, same build as everyone's 200-pound player? In fact, my 180-pound character looks exactly the same as my 230-pound character. There are no real body types for your MyCareer created characters, and this is a big deal because there's really no diversity in the styles in terms of the way the players look on the basketball court. Number 2, we need some new haircuts. In fact, even better, can we have a tool where we can design our own hairstyles? Think about that for a second. Maybe start off with a big old afro, and you can kind of use like a hair cutting tool to shave it down, to fade it up. It would be so cool to see some people come out with half an afro on one side and braid it on the other side. The afro mohawk fade was extremely hot since 2014, 2015, and that still hasn't even been an option in the hairstyles. I personally think if you want to take it to the next level in the creation tools, you guys brought out creation for the new tattoos and things like that, but nobody, and I mean nobody, has come out with a haircut tool where you could design your own hairstyles. Think about how cool that would be, 2K. Listen to your boy Shake. Number 3. I want a button to control my emotions on the basketball. I call it control your emotions, but it's really just a celebration button. You guys put it into the park, but you didn't put it into MyCareer. You didn't put it into any of the other modes. You guys let us glorify offense. And I talked to you guys about this in person, about how you celebrate offense more than defense. How come I can't wave my finger at a person after I get a block? You know how many different intimidating blocking animations that you could add into the game? I want to get a block shot and then I want to flex on them. Of course, the animation would have to take place after a dead ball if the ball goes out of bounds, but it would be so cool if you put that in the game. Just give me some kind of a button that I can push on defense, also in MyCareer, and let the camera zoom in on my character. You guys had that in 2K14, where the camera would zoom in when your player is celebrating after a dope highlight. If I get an ankle breaker and then I go to the rim and score or dish it out for a swift assist, I want to see the camera zoom in on my character when I do my little animation celebration. Just real fast, the same way EA does it in NBA Live, and the same way you guys did it for 2K14. Trust me, that will make for some awesome thumbnail pictures throughout the community. These are not really in any particular order, but number 4 on my list, we need a new closet for all of our clothing and all of our accessories that we have for our MyCareer characters and for the park. It's just too ridiculous. Like, I gotta go through 4 different locations to find the clothes that I want. Let me just have a simple setup where I just look for all my hats and headbands and accessories in one place, and I don't want to have to scroll through all the teams and scroll through all the jerseys to find out which jersey I own and which ones I don't. It's just ridiculous. Just put all the stuff that I own in one section. The 5th thing on my list is we need another badge meter, or something that will indicate how many more crossovers do I need to do to unlock the crossover badge, or how many more Deadeye shots do I need to take to unlock the Deadeye badge. All games throughout the entire gaming universe utilize that strategy. I don't know why 2K doesn't. We're totally oblivious to when we're gonna get a certain badge. Same thing with your park meter. Like, you don't know how many more wins you need to get in order to rank up. I'd like to see at least a number system, bare minimum a number system. If it takes 10,000 points to get from All-Star 2 to All-Star 3, I want it to say that. I want to visually know each game is worth 100 points, so it's going to take a certain amount of games in order for me to make it to the next level. I need to see that. Everyone needs to see that. One time I did an acrobatic layup and changed up my shot in my career mode, and then I unlocked the badge. I had no idea I was one more layup away from unlocking that badge. I mentioned that Destiny is one of the games that I'm basing that off of. Maybe we need to play some other games to see how other people are doing it, but that's a definite strategy that will help the community. It makes sense. We gotta advance that to a point number system. The next few things I'm gonna discuss are things you guys see in real NBA games on television. Can we get some close-ups on players arguing with the referee? This is a real thing that takes place about 10 to 20 times in a game. Maybe we can even have a button that allows us to, try to sway the referee's opinion. You argue with them a little bit. If you do it too much, you get a technical and maybe get ejected from the game. Don't you guys remember the Jordan rules? Like, he got every call. If he went to the lane, he was definitely getting fouled and won. I'm not saying to put a feature in that's gonna break the game or my career mode, but I think it'll be cool to have some close-ups where you get a chance to kind of conversate or argue a little bit with the referee. It's just a part of the game. How about stare downs? There's stare downs all the time. After posterizers, after block shots, after steals and scores, after big three-point shots in somebody's face, especially after and ones. We need more stare downs. That's just a part of basketball. People look each other in the eyes. It makes it more realistic. You don't notice that in NBA 2K. A lot of players seem very artificial because they're never looking at each other. You gotta have people looking at each other. Now I know that can also cause a technical foul as well, but just make it quick and subtle. You don't gotta make it drastic, but it should be in the game. I still think we should work on the crowd atmosphere as well. I don't ever see any close-ups on the crowd. They still feel very artificial, and maybe have some celebrities in there. That'd be pretty cool too. You guys literally put Justin Bieber in the game one year, and you had a host of other celebrities. Why not put them in the crowd? And it'd be pretty cool to pick them out. Another thing on my list is opponent respect. Where are the hugs and handshakes before and after games? Usually you see players come up to each other and shake hands before the game, maybe give each other a quick head nod and a stare down prior to the beginning of the game starting. I want to see that. That would be awesome for thumbnails and pictures, big time matchups. If I want to play the modern day Golden State Warriors versus the 95-96 Bulls, I would love to get a picture of Steph Curry looking directly in the eyes of Michael Jordan. Same thing for LeBron and Kobe. Like, we can't get these because y'all don't put those in the game. These are the kind of things that add more life to the NBA overall atmosphere in an NBA arena environment. I mentioned this earlier, but player ejections would be awesome. You guys have it in the game now to where you can hear what we say, and if we say something bad, they give us a technical foul. Well, how about just straight up ejecting people? Like, I want to see the referee walk over to my character and be like, get out of the game. That would go hand in hand with the arguing with the referee button. The opportunity to do it. If you do it too much, or maybe you don't have enough stardom in the league, and the refs just don't respect you, they could just eject you from the game. There should be at least 2 or 3 funny animations of players getting ejected from the game and walk into the locker room. Another thing that you guys don't really expand on is dynamic duos. I've asked for at least some form of a dynamic duo badge. Every single team in the NBA and all of NBA history, any teams that are worth anything in the playoffs, have always had a dynamic duo. I know people are talking about big threes. There's usually 2 guys on every playoff team or championship team that really made the team gel and that really worked good together. Expand on that a little bit. Just look at the playoffs now. You've got Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. The list goes on and on. You guys have to recognize the fact that the dynamic duo is a huge part of basketball. Imagine if I had the dynamic duo badge, and let's say my buddy D-Man also had the dynamic duo badge. Then when we're out on the park, when we pass the ball between each other, throwing alley-oops, successful kickouts for open looks, we have a higher percentage of scoring. And then maybe that badge would unlock some dynamic duo celebrations. Just thinking how cool that would be to have some dynamic duo celebrations on the park. That would be a whole new feature. You guys could have dynamic duo celebrations at the end of games and dynamic duo celebrations after scores. You guys can find all kinds of ways to implement that into the game somehow. It is a huge part of basketball. And last but definitely not least, more physicality in the paint, more physicality for bigger, stronger players, especially the guys with the bigger body types. Why aren't there any alley-oop posterizers? Like, think about that for a second. You always get caught in an animation when you're getting dunked on in the paint. Wouldn't it be cool if you threw an alley-oop to a really strong player like a Dwight Howard, and the guy under the rim who doesn't challenge it properly, he just gets dunked on and knocked to the ground based on physics, not some animation. When a guy dunks the ball, the arms, the momentum of his body's gonna slam into somebody. We need to see more of that, more physics. When players hit the ground, other players should trip over the guy that fell on the ground. We like to see those hustle plays where people are falling on the ground. And once again, this is just part 1 of a 3-part series. And I'm also going to cover the Pro-Am, MyPark, and other gameplay changes as well. So this was part 1 of my 2K17 wish list. If you guys enjoyed this video, smack that like tab to show your support. And definitely share your opinion on the things that I discussed, and feel free to add in the things that you believe should be added into the game as well. Stay tuned for part 2 and part 3. Subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll be back with my other wish list, diss list, and fix list for you guys later. In the corner, and I'm gonna bring it. You know they're gonna crowd me when I go to the rim.
Oh yeah.
Got 8 seconds.
I got 8.
Look at that.
Yep.
Told you, game time. Game time, fellas. Called it. Dudes be in my comments like, how is he so fast still? I'm like, yo, you been cheesing for too long, son. You don't know how to play the game anymore.